This exhibit, and there are some pretty intense scenes.
Hey y'all, on today's vlog, we gonna be going to a field trip right now, right? So we finna go to the field trip, and we in my old hood. Y'all from the West End, you know what I'm saying? Y'all grew up over here, you know what I'm saying? I'm from East Atlanta, but you know what I'm saying? We grew up, you know, so we from Atlanta, you from Atlanta now. You from Atlanta, you from Atlanta. So we over here in the West End right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm just going back down memory lane right now, you feel me? Like, you know, you see that crackhead that you always see, you already know it get real. Like, once you see that crackhead that always been that crackhead and they still smoking that same crack, you know you in your hood. Because the crackheads ain't gonna go nowhere. They still mess with the same dope boy. No cap. So, yeah, we outside. I'm gonna show y'all, we finna go to a museum. We finna be looking at art and stuff like that. I ain't mean to come on out like that, but y'all boy like this video. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe. We got a little ratchet, but you know. We got trap man, but we got trap boys out here. The trap man, they help to clean up the community. And yeah, we lit on the school, but and we was just playing music on the speaker, man. We was just vibing, man. Me and gang, you know, it's a little light little field trip. Ain't too many people. Yup, so like it really got going back to memory lane. Cause I used to play at the playground. I'm gonna show y'all West End Park, man. Let me show y'all. I don't know, it's kind of like it got spirits and stuff in it. Vampires and everything. I don't know. But we're gonna go, we're gonna see, we're gonna have fun. I'm gonna show y'all all the art and stuff that they're gonna have in here. You know, we're gonna see if it's cool. If it's not, we're gonna rate it out of 10, 1 out of 10. But like if it's 10 out of 10, it's beautiful. If it's 0, we're gonna let them know. So y'all like this video, comment, subscribe, and shout out to the bus driver. And shout out to all the little kids. Shout out for Genesis for letting me sit in his seat, number 16, and Zakira P, and Nikia, and that boy Kenneth. Yeah, shout out to all these kids, man. Y'all right at school, but everybody. We got Anaya, Lena, Aaliyah B, Layla, Jasia, that boy Legacy. Anyway. All these beautiful children. You know what I'm saying? We finna have fun, man. Cause like I used to live in the neighborhood, but I never like these used to be like little fancy houses, like we ain't never used to feel me. So like it's good to know like it's historical stuff on your hood. Like we really live in Atlanta, like it really like historical stuff out here. And we just be living next to it, we don't even know. But that's enough for this talking and stuff. Y'all like this video, subscribe. When we get in the house, I'm gonna let y'all know what we see, feel me? Look, there go my uncle right now, Karen. We on the field trip. And y'all know Mr. Karen. They crazy, but just get to seeing everybody when you just be out here like. They crazy, man. Look, we out here with Mr. Robert. We finna walk to the spot, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all where we get there. We at the library right now. Huh? Ain't that big, it is. It's fine.
Georgia during the Civil War. And remember, Georgia succeeded from the Union. So he was the governor of the Confederate state during the war. And they changed the name.
Willie Walker. Yeah, we start trafficking. There go Kieran right there. He finna go to work. I be tired going to work.
Okay, this is the first piece I want to talk about. Public art.
Oh, Martin Luther King.
Somebody else answer.
Oh, dang, they sleep. They sleep.
Sweetheart, you can answer personally. Just give. I like some other people. Who is? This is Martin Luther King. The name of the artist, I think his name is Baby. He's a fairly well-known muralist. He has murals throughout the city. He did a series on Colin Kaepernick. Who's called Colin Kaepernick? Anybody know who he is?
Football player?
Yeah.
Okay, she's smart.
Why? Okay, so why would anybody want to do a mural of him? What is significant of it? There's 1,000.
Oh, I know. He protested like the system or something like that. Like
okay. He was the one that started kneeling at the national anthem.
Yeah.
When they started playing the national anthem.
Yeah.
So he did a whole series on Colin Kaepernick all over the city, and he did this piece. And what was starting to happen is that kids were coming by and tagging his work, and he couldn't understand it. And I don't really understand it, really. Do y'all know what what of these tags mean? Can somebody tell me?
No.
And so that's what he started a dialogue with the artist about why are y'all tagging my work? You see here, he says, what does this mean to us?
Google MLK and FBI film.
What are those symbols on the side? Did anybody ever know what those symbols on the side mean?
No. It got a rope. It got a hand, a comb, a rope.
What is rag culture? Anybody know what that is? So, you know, like 500 years from now, 100 years from now, people will come back and say, what does this mean?
What? I'm like that right
How
now.
many people knew that was Martin Luther King? What? Facial figures? What else about it?
The face?
Well, it's you can Google him.
Wycliffe Bennett.
I think he's an incredible artist. He lives in this house, and he has a studio.
Links Art, y'all go get at him. 457654.
Ancestors, yeah. And there's another piece on the other side, and it's what's called mosaic tiles. Those are tiny little tiles, and they're all put together, and and cemented on the wall. And we're going to go into that part.
What's up? Take us to the Catholic church. I start getting a little hot now, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, get a little hot out here. Y'all ain't hot?
Who hot?
It's a little hot. I know she ain't hot. But we finna go to church. It's a little hot. Take this shit off. Alright, definitely.
So this is another depiction of Jesus. The birth. Oh, we got it. You ain't missing anybody, right?
I see 15.
What are we missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hang on.
Okay, let me get out of the way.
Hang on.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
So this is the other side of the mural. Same artist. And you can get a better view of how it's done with these little tiles. I think this was done right back in the 80s. And it has some maintenance problems. Every couple of months they come in and they try to replace the tiles. But it's called Ancestors. It's by a Nigerian artist. I can't remember his name.
Ancestors.
Last but not least,
you hear that one? Ancestors. Ancestors.
Okay, yeah, you want to go?
Nigerian artist is using African mask imagery, probably from Yoruba, right? They're Yoruban masks.
Hey.
And these like little diamonds are funerary. So part of it's funerary, and the reason it's called Ancestors is because they use these artifacts, these things that they make to communicate with the ancestors.
Igungun.
Yeah.
Igungun. I do that. I do that.
Yeah,
Ashe. You talking about? Igungun.
It's called, actually the actual name is his, and that's the artist's name.
The meeting of the artist Jamal Barumhuma, December 12th. Yes, sir. Look, it's a Lamalan, y'all. We got the Ancestors, Ashe. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. They the part I chopped my teeth off for her, man. And they'll sit there. I've been talking shit. We finna head to court now. Voila. Ooh, is he?
The whole basketball court is a mirror.
I gotta get the content for y'all, boy.
I think this is the artist, Drew Porter.
Yo, look at Sally, look at.
And then SCAD students come out and help to paint it. And they do use paint that's like court friendly, you know, instead of just like whatever. So
Yeah.
it'll stand the test of time.
Oh yeah, it good. It fine. I like SCAD. I was thinking about going to
You
SCAD.
need to go to SCAD.
Yes.
You love it.
It's just a picture.
Ooh.
And there's another piece.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's been there for a long time.
Okay, Faith got that fourth eye.
It's sort of a whimsical piece.
You got that third eye.
A couple stargazers.
Oh yeah.
So art is everywhere in this community. Like I said, we have over, last time I counted, close to 100 pieces of public art in the West End. When you conclude Art on the Beltline, which is a regular series, we do a art tour of the community. If you ever want to
Yes,
take your kids on
absolutely.
that. Okay, do this exhibit, and there are some pretty intense scenes. This is an exhibit about racism and slavery, and there's scenes of violence because that's part of the history of this country. So I just wanted everybody to be prepared for that. There's a little social experiment at the end, and we will get into that too. I don't want to talk too much about it. I think the exhibit is pretty self-explanatory. There are 3 different exhibits going on, okay? Now, I just want to tell you, before we even get to that, a little history about the museum. It's called the Hammond's House, and it's named after a gentleman named Otis Hammond. He was a doctor, but he was also an art collector, okay? And he collected all this African art, and he bought this house back in 1979, specifically to house his collection. In his lifetime, he had accumulated over 250 pieces of art, And when he purchased this house specifically to house his collection. When he purchased the house back in '79, it was kind of on the ropes. It had been turned into a rooming house and cut up into rooms that he was renting. It took him 5 years to restore the house to its current condition. This whole community, the West End, is on the National Register of Historic Places. Anybody know what that is?
Okay. It's known from all around the world.
The United States government designates certain parts of the country that have historic significance, and this community is one of those communities. Okay, so it's protected. You can only you can do certain. You have to get permission to do the outside of your house. They're trying to preserve the community the way it is. Okay, so
in the green room, there's a painting by Robert Duncanson. Hold on. Very famous, very, very famous painter of the Hudson River era. Hailed by the Harlem Renaissance. Here, hundreds of years after his death, we're still celebrating his art. But you know how people, well, artists work. He was also known for, like, even though his works commanded a lot of money, he was known for painting the bodies of people he thought he might get a commission from before he ever got paid. So he would have the bodies painted, and then when he got hired, he would put in the faces, which is a little bit like cheating, but if you look, you can see that. The other Easter egg is in the exhibit when you first go in to the main room. There are aprons, and on the aprons there are symbols. There is a legend for what those symbols mean in the text, and I want to see if you can figure out what the symbols mean. Okay. If you can deduce the language.
Okay, the first thing we're going to do, we don't have coats in the museum, so we're going to go all the way to the back, and you're going to take off your coats and leave them.
Basically, where somebody puts their work on display for a certain number of time, for a certain time period. So
they say blacks only.
I was going to talk about that later.
Wait a minute. Our teacher not finna go in there. Hey.
What's up, TikTok?
They my YouTube, Kalani interviews. Kalani interviews, y'all. Alright.
You know what happened to those little cards with this, the little, yes, they're in this little room. And I'm grabbing moving from the side.
Scam me.
Okay, so y'all come on here in the hallway.
It look like Mama Ocean with her beads.
So while Lydia grabs those cards for me, this exhibit is a little different. It has three separate exhibits in one. So she has two different subject matters in each room. But I do want you to, let's start off by, so this is the curator section behind. I'm not going to read that, it's a whole lot, but I will just read a piece of it, just so you can understand what this exhibit is about. Because if you don't kind of read or try to...
What she means is when she was a fashion designer, she would sew things that were in patterns and predicted things. Improvisational means she just made it up like a jazz song, right? It's like you just make up the notes are like made up, right, for her. Mm-hmm. So instead of it being following a pattern and following an exact plan, she just improvised. So that's an important part of these aprons. Just wanted to say that because that's a long picture.
Yeah, cooch hole right there.
You all can come a little bit closer if you want to look at some of this.
Well, as it didn't follow the symmetry and all the things that we know about it.
Bless you.
come on in, but just please don't touch anything if you can help it. I know it's a little tight in this room. But this room is called Ex-Domestication. So when you hear the word domestic, what do you all think about?
Abandoned and hurt.
Hurt? What about
abuse? Abuse.
Cleaning?
Oh.
And just kind of being of a service to somebody. So that's more of the domestic. I'm just noticing that for the first time. So let me tell you, this was such a nerve-wracking thing to put up, because if you turn it any weird kind of way, the whole thing could just crumble. And this was done, when was this done? Hold on, let me get my notes together. This was done in 2022, so it's not that old, but as it continues to get older, the texture of the soap will eventually start to crumble. So here's the story, the backstory, Ivory Tower and what it represents. So this is from the artist herself. We had an artist opening exhibit last Friday, and so this was the story that she gave about this. She said that this tower represents Black women who have clean and maintained spaces. So hence soap, it represents clean. She said that it represents the ivory tower in academia and corporate America. So there is exactly 10 African Black soaps at the very bottom. And she read an article, so Precious lives in North Carolina. She read an article about 10 Black professors who have resigned their positions between January and June of 2022 at North Carolina State University. So they just all decided to basically resign because they weren't either getting paid enough. They were always getting like the short end of the stick amongst everybody else that was there. So those 10 professors, and she said, because if that bell wasn't ringing, then they knew that meant that they weren't doing the work. So that's a tattletale.
That was during slavery.
Yeah.
To let them know they was doing the work.
I don't have a whole lot of information on this kid here and learn how, teach each other how to read. And now the sad part, people to read books, now it's illegal to read about enslaved people in some states in books. So y'all have heard, hopefully you've heard the news that's been ongoing about certain states that don't support slavery and are reading about slavery. So anyway, that's what this piece is about. This is about, and she chose to put the 1619. I thought this was about who? here. It was called originally. Place junk store, and she saw, I could see no reason but the most deceitful. And how many of you all go to church for New Year's Eve? Anybody ever go to church for New Year's Eve? You do? So they call that typically watch night service. And so that's a historic name for, like, a lot of the slaves would gather the night before New Year's and have a watch night type of thing. And basically watch night back in those days meant this is the last time that you're going to be together as your family, as your friends, because what happens on New Year's Day is that's auction day. That's when people get sold off. That's when people literally are separated from their family, and that happens on New Year's Day. So watch night wants this to be almost like an element of surprise or an element of see and just see what's behind the curtains. Okay. And then when you all come out, the next four can go. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Y'all ready? I'm gonna go in for everybody. Dead people, yours, dead people, that sex, take deeper. Alright, say feel free to sit down, close your eyes, and listen to the music. Remember, you are beloved. Do y'all want to go this way? It's a year without being, you have entered this space after being instructed not to do so. Perhaps you have discriminated your white privilege. Oh my God. It's why you are beloved. We feel love, don't we? We feel love. Look at these boy. You gotta read. Ain't none of them. It's funny.
Get back in the back.
She funny. Butt jumper knocked out, y'all. She knocked out. Oh, you were knocked out. It's the end of the vlog. Y'all like this video, comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We back with the vibes. You know what I'm saying? We just enjoyed ourselves at the museum. Learned a lot. And we out. Y'all like this video. Like the video. Like it right now. 5, 4, 3, 2. I like it.